What if we can fly like birds? Imagine waking up one morning and discovering that you had wings real, feathered wings attached to your back. No airplanes, no gliders, no machines. Just you, lifting off into the air like a bird. What would our world look like if humans could naturally fly? At first, the thrill would be overwhelming. Instead of taking the bus, the train, or even walking, you would simply spread your wings and soar above the streets. Commuting to school or work would no longer mean traffic jams, but perhaps crowded skies filled with humans flapping and gliding. Flying would instantly change our sense of freedom. No longer bound by roads, bridges, or paths, every human could travel in straight lines. Distances that once felt far would shrink, and the world would suddenly feel smaller and more accessible. Of course, the human body is not built for flight. To support wings, our skeletons would need to be lighter, and our muscles stronger, especially in the chest and back. This might mean humans would evolve with hollow bones like birds and far more powerful lungs to provide the oxygen needed for high-altitude flying. Daily life would be reimagined. Cities might be redesigned with tall perches, landing platforms, and mid-air highways. Skyscrapers could have open balconies, not just for decoration, but as resting spots for flying people. Air travel, as we know it, would no longer be the same. Why buy a plane ticket if you could fly yourself across the ocean? Though realistically, long-distance flight would be exhausting, so new types of sky rest stations might exist, floating platforms where people could take breaks in mid-air. The skies would suddenly become crowded. Governments might have to regulate flying zones, just as we have traffic laws for cars. Imagine air police controlling speed limits, designated flying lanes, no-fly zones around sensitive areas like airports or military bases. On a personal level, flying would completely transform how we view the environment. Looking down on forests, oceans, and mountains from a bird's-eye view could inspire people to appreciate nature more deeply. It might even encourage stronger conservation efforts, since people would see firsthand the beauty of untouched landscapes. But flying would not be without danger. Mid-air collisions, strong winds, and storms would become everyday hazards. Just as birds struggle against hurricanes or winter blizzards, humans too would face the brutal challenges of nature when taking to the skies. Flying could also affect human society on a deeper cultural level. Sports would evolve into breathtaking aerial competitions. Imagine soccer played in the sky or Olympic events where athletes perform acrobatic mid-air stunts. A whole new world of entertainment would emerge. Economies would shift as well. Airlines, car manufacturers, and fuel industries might decline, while new businesses would arise around wing maintenance, specialized flight gear, and aerial navigation technology. Military strategy would change dramatically. Soldiers who could fly would alter the balance of power. Wars might no longer be fought only on land or sea, but in vast three-dimensional aerial battles. Cities would need new types of defenses to protect themselves from airborne attacks. Social status might even be influenced by flying skill. Those who could fly faster, higher, or more gracefully might earn admiration, while others might struggle with clumsy wings. Inequalities could arise, leading to new divisions in society. Flying would also bring new health challenges. Constant wing use might lead to overstrained muscles, broken bones, or respiratory problems. Safety equipment, such as helmets, goggles, and even wing protectors, would likely become essential. Education would change too. Schools might teach children how to fly safely, much like we teach bike riding today. Flight etiquette, aerial traffic rules, and survival skills would become part of the curriculum. And what about cities at night? Instead of streets filled with headlights, the sky might glow with thousands of humans carrying lanterns, drones, or bioluminescent gear, creating a dazzling spectacle across the horizon. Religion and philosophy might also shift. Flight has always symbolized freedom, divinity, and transcendence. If humans gained wings, many cultures might reinterpret ancient myths, considering themselves closer to angels, gods, or legendary beings. On the flip side, crime could take on new dimensions. Thieves could escape by simply flying away, and law enforcement would need advanced aerial tracking systems to pursue criminals across rooftops and skies. Relationships with other species would also change. Birds, once the masters of the skies, would suddenly have competition. Would we coexist peacefully, or push them out of the airspace with our sheer numbers? Flying could alter how we interact with the weather. People might learn to ride wind currents like eagles or migrate with the seasons, following warmth and avoiding harsh climates. Human life could become more nomadic, shaped by the natural rhythms of the atmosphere. Tourism would be revolutionized. Imagine flying over the Grand Canyon, gliding above the Great Wall of China, or soaring around Mount Everest without the need for helicopters. Venture travel would become accessible to nearly everyone. But perhaps the most profound change would be psychological. The feeling of flight wind rushing across your face, the ground shrinking below, could transform human happiness. The dream of flying, once confined to myth and imagination, would become an everyday reality. Yet with all this excitement comes responsibility. The skies would demand respect, discipline, and caution. Just as we learn to master the seas and the land, humanity would need to develop a deep respect for the new world above our heads. In the end, if humans could truly fly like birds, it would be both a blessing and a challenge. Our world would be freer, more beautiful, and more dangerous. The dream of soaring through the skies would finally belong to us, not just in stories, but in reality. And perhaps, as we glide through the clouds, we would learn something important. That freedom always comes with responsibility. That the skies are not just a place to conquer, but a vast and delicate part of the world we call home.